Hello! In today's video, let me show you 7 easy Valentine's Day DIYs. And 4 of them you can use all year round if you want. Our first DIY is this heart branch 12-piece set that they wanted $32.50 for, that we're going to make with a $1 pack of Dollar Tree table scatter and 2 branches that I already have. So these branches I'm using here, they're from Walmart. They make a mess with the snow. You can see all that little white stuff flying everywhere. So all I do is spread them branches out, and then I'm just going to take these little table scatter hearts, foam hearts, and glue them on my branches. Now, if you have these same exact branches, if you want to add some of the hearts on the top, you just kind of connect 2 of them. Don't just put it on that one little dainty end piece. You need support, so connect a few of the little pieces up there at the top to support them. And that is it. And so I'm going to go in and use a vase I already have too. I got this a couple years ago from Dollar General for $3 on clearance. And look at that. And to embellish this nice little vase jar, I'm just going to take and add a piece of ribbon I got from Dollar Tree at Christmas time. And I'm just going to hot glue a little piece of it there at the rim at the top. All right, and she's done. DIY number 2, we are going to make a cute little bee pit. So to start it out, I have a 4-pack here of hearts on popsicle sticks, and I'm just going to take and cut off the arrows on them. I'm just using standard regular scissors. Those are from Dollar General. And we are going to assemble a bee. And this would be cute in like flowers for spring, summer. You can put it in a wreath, wherever you want. So here I'm cutting the head. I cut the heart in half, and I got that chunk there, and I'm just going to make it more rounded. And I used 2 of the other hearts for the wings and the one as the body. And I'm going to go in and just with my acrylic paint the body yellow and the head yellow. And I'm going in and painting the wings with aqua sky blue. And I was just testing to see if the paint would cover the back or if it would just foul right off, sand off. It does both. So if you want it off of there. Now I'm just going to go in and make my little black part of the bee. Now I do end up adding 2 more black stripes, I believe, or 1 black stripe at the very end. I just went into this not even knowing what I was going to do. So I also go around the whole heart edges to kind of distress it with my black paint. I do the same with the head and the same with the wings. Just with my flat brush and black acrylic paint, and I go heavier in some areas just to distress it. Now, I'm going to take with my marker, and I'm just giving it some whimsical effect. And they're 2 like half hearts that intertwine. And then I'm going to go over it with my black paint to make it more bold. Now, I'm going to go and I forgot the stinger piece, and this is just the tip of the arrow from what we cut earlier, and I'm just going to color it black with my Sharpie. And if you notice my little 2 wings over there, them 2 hearts, I colored them over with Bahama blue because I kind of wanted a darker shade, so that's why those look different. Now what I'm going to do is assemble my bee with the hot glue. Okay, I painted the backs black because if I put it somewhere, if you see the back, so it doesn't look like crap. So I painted that black, and now I'm just going to attach it to this stick that they originally came on. And then I'm going to go in and attach both of the wings. And I kind of do it so it kind of looks like the bee sideways. And for his little antennas at the end, I did not record it. All I did was I took 2 toothpicks, colored them black, and used 2 dots of my hot glue. You can see how the hot glue gun leaves them little dots. I attached them to the top of the toothpick and colored them black with my Sharpie. I did the eyes and I added little cheeks and I just embellished it at the very end with 2 little foam hearts. I went back in, added the black little hearts in the wings, and bam, she done. For DIY 3 and 4, I did them both together just because. So here is a heart picture frame I believe is from Michael's. I found it in my old craft stash tote. And I have a heart here from Dollar Tree. It's a wood blank. And I do them together because I used the white paint and my tray there's kind of overflowing, so we ain't gonna waste. So here I am using Scotch tape as masking tape. Yes, it works. It does not make bleeds. Use what you got. So I just kind of want this like diagonal striped look. So I'm just taking and taping off where I want my stripes. And then I just push it down on the other side so the tape's not sticking out. So I can get those crisp, clean lines. So here we're going to just paint this picture frame white. And I obviously wasn't thinking this day. The one side of this picture frame's a little rough. And I do end up going in and sanding it down with my nail filer. Yes, you can use a nail filer as sandpaper on these little projects. I use it for everything, I swear. So here I go, painting it white. Now, you can really see that texture there on that side really popping out. So I kind of let it dry for a bit, and then I go in with my filer and file it right off and give it another coat. But while I had my white paint, I'm going to paint where I want white on my heart. I was just cutting the strings off. Those should have been off before, so I didn't paint them. So while my heart picture frame's still kind of drying, I'm going to go in on this heart here with True Red and just color where I want the red on my heart. And you'll see the masking tape there. It looks a little sloppy, but no, it ends up crisp. I'm just painting over that clear tape. I go back over the white because it needs more than just one coat. And I'm going to show you something really cool. If you don't have stain, here's a way you can make paint look like a stain. This is just a burnt umber color in apple barrel. It's acrylic paint. And I'm taking my paintbrush and dipping it in water. And I have a little bit of paint in this little cup I'm holding, cap. So I'm just adding water to make the consistency of this paint thinner. Now, right now, how I just threw that on there, it looks super thick. Well, I take this new paintbrush, I dip it in my water, and then get some of that water off on my little napkin over there, and I'm gonna spread this paint out. And once it's dry, it looks like you almost went in and used just regular stain. But this is a cheaper way for sure, and it is spot on to a real stain. Now this heart I'm going to use in my house all year. It's matches actually a cutting board that I painted for the winter. You'll see at the end if you stay tuned. Okay, so here, finally this is a little drier. I can go in with my nail filer and file that roughness off. And I end up giving it one more coat of white acrylic, and she's ready for the next step. But I go back to this other heart because I was unsure again how I wanted the paint to look. I actually like it looking back just like this, but I wanted a darker shade too. And I'm going to show you, if you go in and think you screwed it up by like putting hard dots like that, I purposely did that. You can definitely blend it out and you will not even tell. You just have to work with it and be patient. You'll see I'm going in and it's called cutting and painting, where I was getting it real nice and tight there where both colors meet, because I removed my tape. If you're not comfortable doing this, use a piece of tape if it's good and dry over the other color. So now what I'm going to do is add some distressing. I'm going to go around the edges with the burnt umber color I had in my cap over here from what I made the stain out of. And I'm just going around the edges. Now back to my picture frame. Okay, so I used my Cricut and I cut out the words yay. And this is on the Cricut stencil film. I love this stuff. It's inexpensive too. And I cut out, like I said, the word yay. And the bottom I'm using, we still like each other. So here I am using this foam brush. And if you ever do a stencil, just make sure it's good and pushed down so it don't bleed through. And there I realized the E was stuck from the word other and I got to reattach it. The struggle was real. I got it though. So I'm just going to go in and dot, pat, whatever, my black paint. And I wasn't too particular if it got on a little bit of the white because I was going to distress it anyways. And then I go in with my stencil brush. You can use either or. Okay, now that was dry, I still have my inner pieces still attached, but those can wait. I'm going to go around with my black paint and distress the edges of the whole picture frame. Sides and top and bottom. And if you ever do it with your foam brush, if you kind of pinch it with your thumb and index finger, it makes it easier to control. And I'm going to go in and add a little bit of classic caramel too. Once I paint the inside of this heart, distress it with the black, I go in with the classic caramel and I dry brush around the whole thing. This technique I taught myself a long time ago on how to distress things. I know a lot of people like using, it's called antique wax. I've never even owned it, but if you have that, you can use that. I honestly prefer this method that I do. It gives it a realistic, rustic edge. Oh, she cute.
Kaboom!
Okay, now we're going to go in and remove the insides of these letters that still have the vinyl attached. And you'll see it all coming together. And here I just went in and freestyle wrote XOXO in red acrylic. And I'm going to add the little happy dots and my classic caramel using the end of my paintbrush. Okay, let that dry. Now back onto this heart. I am going in with my black and distressing around this whole thing in my black while it's still on my foam brush. And I was running out of black paint that I still had, so I just went in with my Sharpie. That does the trick too. So I still have classic caramel color out. So I'm going to just go in and hit up this natural colored wood with some of that and kind of blend it out like I dry brushed it on. And then I'm going to go in with my roller to really crisp them lines up and I'm just going to take my black Sharpie and make them 2 bold black lines because I wanted something to make it more bolder. And boom! I will finish this off with a little bit of spackle, or not spackle, speckled dots at the end. Here I'm showing if you don't want to use your finger, you can use a popsicle stick. I prefer to just get my finger down up in there and it works. I don't mind a painted finger. For the colors that I'm using to speckle this, I went in with the classic caramel and I did go in with some black. And a little bit of white to bring out that dark color that I had on there to make it pop. Okay, back onto this little cutie. I went and I had to find a picture that I wanted to put in it, and clearly this didn't have a back. I don't know where the back ever went, or even if it came with back, who knows. But I'm just cutting this piece of cardboard out the size of my frame here, and then I just scotch tape down the picture onto the heart picture frame, and then I just hot glue this piece of cardboard to the back, and that's it. You can add a piece of Jenga block if you want it to stand up, but mine didn't have an issue standing.
3, 2, 1!
DIY 5. Let's make this tin ladybug. So what I did to make this, I just had the idea randomly pop in my head. I took a Dollar Tree wooden heart and I cut it in half. And those are going to be my 2 wings. And I'm going to take 2 of the disposable pie pans here. Not this one. I go and grab a clean, fresh one because I needed the lid cover part. And right now, what I'm doing is taking those pieces off, the corner pieces, so I just have the round circle of the lid, and I'm going to put the lid on and push down around the whole little pie there. That is going to be our ladybug's head. So what I am doing, obviously this hole punch was not going to punch through, so I take and I make a hole with my scissors, and then I put one through the other pie shell to connect them. And how I connect them is with a zip tie. Just like that. Easy. Now, we need to attach these wings. So I add hot glue on those handles that you'll see here. Now that's going to help stand it up, like give it some support. And then here in a few, you'll see me flip it over to the back to give it extra support. And let me tell you, this thing is sturdy at the very end. I gave it the good shake test where I just take my projects if I'm unsure if they're sturdy and I give them a good old whipping shake. It didn't even budge. And I've seen here, I was like, oh my gosh, we can make a cute butterfly too. That was just an idea that popped in my head. So, anywho, back to these wings that we're attaching. And I wasn't too worried if any of this hot glue like splurged out the sides here on the pie handles, because I go in and I make it look like a rusted tin that you'd see hanging on the side of a building that was there for 20 million years. Okay, so here, what I'm going to do to add extra support to these wings on the back is take popsicle sticks. And I put one on each wing, like so. And the other one kind of lifted up, so I just took and wedged another popsicle stick, you'll see. And I hot glued it down. And then I just snipped off the piece that was sticking off the pie, because this just wasn't going to stick down. But see how I just added that? Then I just snipped it off. And I add a piece in the middle there to connect the two. And I let that dry. Let it harden before I flipped it over. So to paint the wings, I'm just going in with some regular acrylic paint in the color True Red. And I'm going to paint both of the wings this beautiful red color.
Ba-doom, 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 ba-doom. Doom, ba-doom, 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 ba-doom.
Now I don't show how I did the black dots on it, but if you remember earlier, I was using that foam brush. I used the tip of that foam brush and I just dipped my paint in it for the black dots. And for more consistent dots, you have to dip your little tip in the paint each time for each dot. And they'll come out perfect, basically. You'll see here it's about to pop up with the black dots. Bam! And I went around the edges with my black paint as well. The wings and the pie tin. So now we're going to make this thing look like it's 50 years old that was hanging off the side of an old general merchandise building. So to do that, I am just going to take my Mod Podge and we're going to grunge this up. And I'm going in with cinnamon and allspice. And I like to get that Mod Podge on there thick. You can also go in with instant coffee. You can go in with tea, clove, whatever you want. And once you get that on, I'm going to show you that little portion there. You want to Mod Podge over it too, so it's sealed in. And I just show you this little chunk here, but I do it to the head and the body. And I use the allspice for that extra dark color. Now here's my beautiful little headband I got from Dollar Tree. And those are going to be the little antenna thingies that ladybugs have. I thought long and hard on what can I make them little things that stick out of a ladybug's head out of. And then finally it came to me. My nice headband from Dollar Tree. So here I'm just cutting 2 holes here to fit the headband in. And I went with like how the headband was, so it could be nice and tight. Just like that. If you want, you can add hot glue for extra security. Mine's just fine after the shake test. And I wanted the little hearts. I didn't want them to look brand new like they do. So we're going to go in and grunge them up. And I go in with some Mod Podge and some cinnamon. And I even hit up around the edges of the whole heart with my black acrylic paint. And here I had that smushed down. It was an easy fix. I just took my hand in and then I just pulled it up and it's all smoothed out now. You can actually go in if you want extra support and cut up a paper towel holder and put in between certain areas and put the top on. So I wanted this little love bug to have something cute. So I'm just taking a piece of cardstock paper. I didn't even cut it with scissors. I just ripped it with my hands. And I want it to look discolored. So I'm going to paint it classic caramel color. And that's my little acrylic paint. And I was using what I had that Mod Podge cinnamon mixture in. And there's some cinnamon on it too. I even sprinkled a little cinnamon on this paper. As long as you Mod Podge over it when it's nice and dry, you're golden. And I even added on these wings here, my butterfly. Because once you start making the Mod Podge and cinnamon, it gets mixed in together. And I got a nice light coating of it on my ladybug wings. So once I get this here painted, I flipped it over. Okay, we're turning the other way. And I just went in with a Sharpie and I just hand wrote lovebug with the little happy dots. Those, if you hate your handwriting, they make your handwriting look good. That's my favorite way. Or little slashes I always put on the ends of my letters. And I also go around it with my black marker here around the edges but I ended up going around it with the black paint too to make it more stable so it wouldn't be as like flimsy. And I just hot glued that right on this belly. Now this I think I'm going to use in the springtime as well for my decor. This is freaking adorable. And I added a little speckle here. Now look at this. How freaking cute. Oh my god, I'm in love with a love bug. And how I have it hanging is I took a piece of string and applied it to where I had my zip tie, that hole, and I just knotted it and it hangs just fine. DIY number 6, how about some conversation heart garland? I wrote my family's name, me, my husband, and my 2 girls, Big Mama and Waffles. All I went in with was this 12 count foam hearts from Dollar Tree. I wrote our names in black permanent marker, outlined the circles, and I just glued it to the string. Now I wanted mine to have a little more oomph, so I doubled them, and I went on the 2 purple ones with my hot glue on the outside to give them a little texture. They look great against a plain black wall, and not so much like a cheap pack of foam. You feel? And on to the last. I made a heart plant stand. I know I have a pie on it right here because I didn't have it down on my living room floor yet. So these buckets are from Dollar Tree. They're 2 different sizes. The small ones you get in a pack of 4. And the big one, I had 2 different ones and need to use them for something. So you've probably seen before, I made a tier tray. All you do is E6000 down the base. And you can use hot glue for an instant hold. And this little one that I apply on the very bottom, I don't show you here, but you need to weight it down. So I glued it on, and then I was like, oh crap, I didn't weight that down. And it holds the plant in my living room, which you'll see on my little tour that I'm about to give you of my Valentine Day decor. Dun 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 dun. Here's a primitive tree we made out of wood. That little heart and keys, just regular Dollar Tree decor. That beaded hearts Dollar Tree decor that I didn't do nothing with. On my little tree I made here, I added them little foam pick hearts. This little felt piece is from Dollar Tree. There's my little love bug. Here's my little love station, me and my husband in the picture. There's the plant on the stand. There's that heart I did. I like to leave a little winter mixed in with my Valentine's Day decor. And these little heart, the roses were little felt roses from Dollar Tree. Like, could you believe all this is from basically Dollar Tree? I know. And coming up, you'll see the little cutting board that my heart that I just did matches. And here's the little tour of what I had previously made, my little sundae brownies. I have my cinnamon rolls. There's that tray I made. My fake cookies I've made. I made this tree. I made this gumball machine. My little DIY tree I've showed the video of. I made that apple butter jar. So basically what you're looking at is a house full of Dollar Tree decor that looks very bougie. Bougie on a budget. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorials. I had a lot of fun making them, and please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, have a great day.